In this lecture, I am going to discuss about isomorphism and homomorphism, and in the broad sense we will discuss about the mapping between groups. The content of the lecture has been taken from the book Mathematical Methods for Physics and Engineering by Riley, Hobson and Benz. Now, what is mapping? Suppose G and G prime are two groups. We can study the effect of a mapping phi G onto G prime. This arrow symbol, the meaning of this arrow symbol is we are studying a particular mapping phi. Phi is a kind of mapping and mapping of G onto G prime. Now suppose X is an element of G and we denote its image in G prime under the mapping of phi by X prime. So the thing is that if X is an element of G, we are defining its image as X prime and X prime is in the G prime group. G and G prime are two groups. So if X is an element of G group, so the corresponding element will be X prime in G prime. So X prime is called the image of X and we write X prime equal to phi of X. Why? Because phi is a kind of mapping. So X prime we write in this way, that is X prime is equal to phi of X. X prime corresponds to X through the mapping of phi. A technical term that we have already used is isomorphic. We have discussed the term isomorphic when we discussed the multiplication table in our earlier lectures. So I request the viewers to listen that lecture which corresponds to the multiplication table, and in that lecture we have defined a particular term that is isomorphic, and the concept of multiplication table is necessary for this discussion. So what is isomorphic? There we have already discussed. We will now define it formally. So in this lecture we will give the formal definition of isomorphic groups. So let us consider two groups. The one group is G is equal to X comma Y comma in this way, and the group G prime is equal to X prime comma Y prime and so on. And this G and G prime are said to be isomorphic if there is a one-to-one correspondence between the elements. For example, this X element corresponds to X prime. So we write it mathematically in this way, that is X corresponds to X prime. Similarly, the Y element in G corresponds to Y prime element in G prime, and we write it mathematically in this way, that is Y corresponds to Y prime. And this correspondence is one-to-one correspondence, that is correspondence between one element of G to the other element of G prime. That is why the name one-to-one correspondence. And if xy is equal to z, this condition is hold in G, then in G prime group the condition will be x prime y prime equal to z prime, and vice versa. That is, if this holds in G prime, then this condition should be hold in G. In other words, isomorphic groups have the same multiplication structure that we have already discussed when we discussed about the multiplication table. Although they may differ in the nature of their elements, combination law and notation, thus the groups may differ in the nature of elements, in the nature of combination law, in the notation, but it may happen that the groups have the common multiplication table or the common multiplication structure. So those groups are isomorphic groups. Clearly, if groups G and G prime are isomorphic and G and G double prime are also isomorphic. So G and G prime are isomorphic. On the other hand, G and G double prime are also isomorphic. Then we can say that G prime and G double prime are also isomorphic. And in our earlier lecture, we have discussed that the functions of X and the orthogonal matrices and the permutation matrices and the symmetries of an equilateral triangle, they all are isomorphic and they have a common structure for their multiplication table. This concept we have already discussed. Now we are going to discuss about homomorphism. So what is homomorphism? Suppose G and G prime be two groups and phi is a mapping of G onto G prime. So just like we have discussed the case of isomorphism, we are again considering two groups G and G prime, and phi is a particular mapping of G onto G prime. But here how the mapping occurs, it is a little bit of different from the isomorphism. You just listen very carefully, that is how the phi mapping occurs. If for every pair of elements x and y in G, so we are taking two elements or a pair of elements x and y. So x and y are the elements in G, and the mapping occurs in such a way so that xy prime is equal to x prime y prime. Here prime actually means image of x. So the significance of the symbol prime is that it is the image of G into G prime, image of a particular element of G onto G prime. So xy prime is equal to x prime y prime. Then phi is called a homomorphism. So this mapping phi will be called a homomorphism under this condition. So if this condition holds, that is xy prime is equal to x prime y prime, then we will say that the mapping is known as homomorphism, and G prime is said to be a homomorphic image of G. So the essential defining relationship for the homomorphism is expressed as xy prime is equal to x prime y prime. Is that the same result is obtained? So its meaning is that the same result is obtained whether the product of two elements is formed first and the image is then taken. So left side, if you look at the left hand side of this equation, so in the left hand side what we are seeing, that is whether the product of two elements is formed first, at first xy, that is product of two elements is formed first and the image is taken, and next we are taking the image of this product xy prime, and that is equivalent to if we look at the right hand side, then the images are taken first and the product then formed. Here if in the right hand side you just see, that is x prime is the image of x, y prime is the image of y. So we are taking the image first, then we are doing the product, but the left hand side and the right hand side is equivalent. So we can express this equation in this word form. Three immediate consequences of the above definition are proved as follows. So we can prove some consequences of the homomorphism. So what are the consequences? If I is the identity of G, then we can say that Ix is equal to x for all x in G. We know this property of the identity element, that is if we multiply I with any element, it will give the original element. So Ix is equal to x, it holds for all x in G. consequently we can say that x prime, so x prime is equal to, for x we are writing ix in the first bracket, so ix prime is equal to I prime x prime. Ix prime is equal to I prime x prime is from the definition of the homomorphism. So this holds for all x prime in G prime. So what is the meaning of this equation? So the meaning of this equation is that if we say in words, the identity element of G maps into the identity element of G prime, because I prime is the identity in G prime. If I is the identity in G, I prime is the identity in G prime. Why? Because if you multiply I prime with x prime is any element in G prime. So multiplication of I prime with x prime gives x prime, similar to Ix is equal to x. So as Ix is equal to x in G, and in a similar way we can also show that I prime x prime is equal to x prime. As I prime x prime is equal to x prime, we can say that identity element of G maps into the identity element of G prime. So that is, if I is the identity element in G, the corresponding identity element will be I prime for the group G prime. Next result is that we are writing I prime, so we can write I prime as x prime x inverse then prime, because for I we are writing x inverse. Now as per rule of the homomorphism, this can be expressed in this way, that is x prime into x inverse prime. As left hand side is I prime, so what we can say, that is x inverse prime is equal to x prime inverse. In other words, the image of an inverse is the same element in G prime as the inverse of the image. Image of an inverse is the same element in G prime as the inverse of the image, because x prime inverse is equal to x inverse x inverse prime is equal to x prime inverse. That is the result. If element x in G is of order m, suppose there is a element x in G and order of x is m, that means x to the power m is equal to I. Then I prime will be, for I we write x to the power m, so x to the power m prime. X to the power m prime means actually it can be written in this way, that is x prime into x prime into x prime. In this way total m factors will be there. You see taken x to the power m then prime. So this is same as x prime into x prime into x prime, in this way m factors, because we can also prove in this way. Suppose x to the power m you write in this fashion, that is x into x to the power m minus 1 then prime, and as per the rule of the homomorphism we can write it as x prime then x to the power m minus 1 prime, and so there will be total m factors here. So in words, the image of an element has the same order as the element. So I prime is the I prime is the corresponding identity in the group G prime. But as I is equal to x to the power m, as order of the element x is m for the group G, similarly we can say that in the group G prime the order of x prime is also m, because x prime to the power m is equal to I prime. And what is the difference of isomorphism and homomorphism? That we will discuss now. So for the case of isomorphism, the requirements are as follows. Different elements in G must map into different elements in G prime. I am again saying, that is different elements in G must map into different elements in G prime. Whereas in a homomorphism, several elements in G may have the same image in G prime. Just listen these words very carefully, because this is the difference of homomorphism and isomorphism. In case of homomorphism, there may be several elements in G which have the same image in G prime, but in case of isomorphism, different elements in G must map into different elements in G prime. That is, if x prime is equal to y prime in the group of G prime, then it must imply that is x equal to y in the group G. And the second requirement is that any element in G prime must be the image of some element in G. So, any element in G prime must be the image of some element in G. An immediate consequence of 1, that is the first condition, and the result 3 for the homomorphism. Result 3 means here we have obtained, that is the image of an element has the same order as the element. The image of an element has the same order as that particular element. So, we can say that if two groups are isomorphic, then for each have the same number of elements of any given order. So, suppose the order is m. So, for order m, if there is x number of elements in group G, then there must be x number of elements in G prime also. That is, each have the same number of elements of any given particular order. For a general homomorphism, the set of elements of G whose image in G prime is I prime is called the kernel of the homomorphism. Again, listen this sentence very carefully. Suppose there is a set of elements in the group G whose image is I prime in group G prime. So, as per the definition of homomorphism, we know that there may be a set of elements whose image is same. So, we consider a set of elements of G whose image is I prime, in the group G prime. So, that set of elements is known as the kernel of the homomorphism. We will discuss this kernel with some example, but in an isomorphism, the kernel consists of the identity I alone. So, in that sense, there is no kernel in the isomorphism, but we say that the identity itself is a kernel, because identity I has corresponding element I prime in group G prime. So, here only identity I is the kernel. So, to discuss about the notion of the kernel, we consider a mapping between the additive group of real numbers R and the multiplicative group of complex number with unit modulus U1. So, two groups are there. The first is the group of real numbers R, and the second is the group of complex number with unit modulus. We define that particular group as U1 to indicate the unit modulus, and the mapping between the two groups is defined as phi x corresponds to e to the power ix. So, here x is the element from the group of real number, and the corresponding element for x in the group of complex number with unit modulus is e to the power ix. So, this is the definition of the mapping. Now, suppose we are writing x plus y prime. So, if e to the power ix is the corresponding element of x, then we can write x plus y prime, that is image of x plus y. What will be the image of x plus y? So, the image of x plus y will be e to the power I into x plus y, because x corresponds to e to the power ix. So, x plus y, its image will be e to the power I into x plus y. Now e to the power I into x plus y can be written as e to the power ix into e to the power iy. But e to the power ix, we can write it as x prime because it is the image of x. E to the power ix is the image of x from the definition. So e to the power ix is x prime and e to the power iy is equal to y prime. But this condition, that is x plus y prime is equal to x prime y prime, this is the condition of homomorphism. So this is that is these two groups have homomorphism. However, it is not an isomorphism. Why it is not isomorphism? Because many of the elements of R have the same image in U1. This is the condition for the homomorphism, that is there is a set of elements in G which has the same image in G prime. So here it holds. Here what happens, there is many elements or infinite number of elements in R which have the same image in E1. For example, suppose we are considering pi, 3 pi, 5 pi and so on in R, and they all have the image -1 in U1. Why? Because you see the condition, x corresponds to e to the power ix, so pi corresponds to e to the power I pi, 3 pi corresponds to e to the power I into 3 pi, 5 pi corresponds to e to the power I into 5 pi, but the values of e to the power pi, e to the power 3 pi, e to the power 5 pi all are -1. So if in the group R pi, 3 pi, 5 pi are the set of different elements, then for the set the same image is -1 in the group U1. Furthermore, all elements of R of the form 2 pi n, where n is an integer. Here n is an integer. So for all elements of the form 2 pi n, for example for 2 pi, then 4 pi, 6 pi and so on. So in that case the particular image in the group U1 will be the identity element 1. So for many elements in R there is a particular element in the group U1. So for the group of elements of the form 2 pi n, the image is identity element 1 in U1. So this latter set, that is set of elements of the structure 2 pi n, forms the kernel of the homomorphism. According to the definition of the kernel, we have already defined it. So the set of elements of the form 2 pi n forms the kernel of the homomorphism in this case. For the sake of completeness, we add that a homomorphism for which the condition 1 holds. Actually we have defined two conditions, you just see it again. These two conditions are actually the condition for the homomorphism, isomorphism. These are the condition for the isomorphism. But in particular homomorphism, if the condition 1 holds, only condition 1 holds, then this particular homomorphism will be known as monomorphism. And if only 2 holds, then that homomorphism will be known as epimorphism. And if both condition holds, then we call the homomorphism as isomorphism. And if the initial and final groups are same, that is G equal to G prime, then the isomorphism is termed as automorphism. These are different nomenclature used. So I think you have understood the concept of isomorphism and homomorphism. For further understanding, I request the viewers to go through the textbook Mathematical Methods for Physics and Engineering, and I thank you all for listening this lecture.